station of Fox Sports.
We are Black Hawks. We are Wisconsin.
Well, games on the home schedule in the regular season are running out, and they are flocking to Miller Park tonight. Roof is all closed up on a rainy night in Milwaukee. We are set for Game 2 of this series. It's the Cincinnati Reds and the Milwaukee Brewers, and we saw a little history last night. Christian Yelich becoming just the third player in the modern era of baseball history to have multiple cycles in a season. Second cycle in 18 games, as a matter of fact. Hi, everybody. With that, we welcome you from Miller Park. Great to have you with us. Brian Anderson along with Bill Schroeder. We'll hear from Sophia Minard in just a moment. Well, normally we don't like to look so far behind, but today is an exception because of what we saw here last night. Christian Yelich pulling off the rare feat, not just one cycle, but two in the same season.
And in 2.5 weeks, really. I mean, what can you say about Christian Yelich that hasn't already been said? He deserves all the accolades, but it's a rare combination of speed and power, consistency. You can see third player in modern era with 2 cycles in the same season, 9th cycle in franchise history. And you ask yourself, how rare is one cycle? Well, since the turn of the century, there's been 280 cycles, and there's only been 255 no-hitters. So that's a very rare thing to do. Not just one time, let alone twice against the same ball club. It's been amazing to watch Christian Yelich making a run at an MVP award. The 2 cycles, just a small part of what he's been able to do, not only throughout the season, but second half has been incredible.
Yeah, and anytime you can look at a player and say he's the first to ever do it, so he's the first player to have 2 cycles in a game against the same opponent, you know you've done something special. And our Christian Yelich love fest continues as we bring on Sophia Minard. Sophia, I know you had a chance to sit down with Christian today.
Yeah, and even Christian Yelich can't believe the run that he is on. As you guys said, his second cycle, both of them coming against the Reds. Something about the Cincinnati Reds, right? Eric Thames has owned them in the past, and now this year it's Christian Yelich. And certainly he said, you know, after the game last night, he said, you see the ball come off the bat, you think, no way is this happening again. He said, you would love to say that this is a dream come true, but he said, honestly, this is so crazy, you can't even say that you would dream up something like this. So here's what Yelich had to say, soaking it all in last night.
It's crazy. I mean, you never really expect to do that at all. I mean, just to get 4 hits in a major league game is hard enough, let alone have them be the right kind and have it all line up like that. And to do it twice in less than a month is pretty crazy when you think about it. I mean, there's a lot of luck that's involved in it as well. But yeah, I don't know how to explain it, honestly.
Well, it's hard to explain, but the proof is in the results for Christian Yelich. A .318 average, second only to Scooter Gennett in the National League. You see the OPS, .955. He has scored 102 runs. His 31st home run hit last night and 93 RBIs. So he's having an MVP caliber season. The conversation ongoing nationally and, of course, here locally, what Christian Yelich has meant to the Brewers and entering the MVP conversation with just 11 games remaining in the regular season. When we come back, we'll take a look at Game 2 and the starting pitching in this matchup. It'll be Chase Anderson against Michael Lorenzen. What Anderson's keys to success are against the Reds as he faces them for the 4th time this year.
Tonight, look at his year against the Cincinnati Reds. He has not lost, an ERA of 3.63, and his career against the Reds, he's got a sub-3 earned run average. He'll be making his 11th start of his career against Cincinnati tonight. Michael Lorenzen is making his first start of the season. As a matter of fact, he's making his first start since the 2015 season. It's going to be a bullpen by committee day for the Cincinnati Reds for Game 2 of this 3-game series. We're ready to play ball at Miller Park. Lineups, first pitch, coming your way next on Fox Sports Wisconsin. Christian Yelich has done it again. It's a base hit into the gap. 4-hit game for Christian Yelich. It'll be a triple for Yelich. The cycle for Christian Yelich. Yelich with a base hit. Yelich with a double. Yelich launches right field. Home run! Yelich into the gap. Right center. Keep on running, Christian. Yelich is going to turn and burn. Throw to the plate. Safe! It's a triple! And it's a cycle for Yelich. Well, how do you repeat that from last night? Christian Yelich, aside from the cycles, he's been doing it all year long. And he is in the conversation for most valuable player in the National League and has those headliner moments to put himself in that conversation now twice in the last 18 games. Great to have you with us tonight. We're set for baseball, the Brewers and the Reds. 68 degrees here in Milwaukee. The roof is all closed up. There is some thunderstorm activity around Miller Park right now, so we're all tightened up. They do have the panels open, and the Reds will have Scott Schebler leading off once again tonight. The Potawatomi batting order with Schebler, Peraza, and Votto at the top, Jeanette Barnhart and Phillip Ervin in the middle, Mason Williams, Brandon Dixon, Michael Lorenzen rounding out the starting 9. Jim Riggleman and the Reds taking this opportunity to see as many of the young Reds players as he can. Chase Anderson greeted on the first pitch, and a broken bat, little flare that's going to fall, and a base hit to start this one tonight.
Well, Chase Anderson making start number 30 here tonight. The 385 earned run average. He's been throwing the baseball pretty well, although not really eating up too many innings. I think that's by design by Craig Counsell and his starters. Last time out, a no decision against the Cubs at Wrigley. 4 innings, 2 hits, no runs for Chase. He's 3-0 this year against Cincinnati.
Last time he faced the Reds was on August 20th. That was right here at Miller Park. He went 6 innings, 2 earned runs in that game. Struck out 6 in his 6 innings. Jose Peraza at the plate for the Reds with a man on. And the second pitch of the ball game is down and away. Reds can swing the bat. They are without some of their regulars in the lineup today, but they do have Tucker Barnhart back in the starting lineup, their everyday catcher. Eugenio Suarez gets the day off today. Billy Hamilton will be available off the bench for Jim Riggleman. Those are two notable regulars for the Reds that get this game 2 off.
Yeah, Reds haven't been swinging the bats all that well, and it started at Wrigley Field, got shut out last night.
Brewers pitchers with their 12th shutout of the year last night. A terrific game all the way around for the Brewers. And with Yelich certainly grabbing the headlines. Brewers got key contributions from Granderson and Santana. Anderson deals, and it's a little bit low. I think maybe more importantly than anything else, the Brewers were able to tack on, and they were able to add to their lead last night, and that allowed Craig Counsell to take Josh Hader out after just 1 inning. And then it was Brandon Woodruff who pitched the final 3 innings to earn his first major league save last night. So this is a fresh and ready bullpen ready to go tonight. All the A-listers are available for this one this evening if Craig Counsell decides to go that way.
Yep, 7 runs in the 5th and 6th innings for the Brewer offense. They needed it too. They were stymied by the Pirates Saturday and Sunday. Good to see the offense breaking out.
3 balls and a strike on Peraza, and he swings and rips one deep to left center, and this one is going to fly out of here, a home run. Well, the Reds jumping on Anderson early tonight. 2-run blast by the shortstop Peraza, and a quick 2-spot for Cincinnati before Anderson has an out on the board.
Yeah, 30th home run allowed by Chase. Most of those, large majority of them, solo shots. This one a 2-run homer in the 1st inning. Home run has been a big issue for Chase this year. Yeah, fastball middle in, and Peraza gets good wood on it and knocks it out of here on a line out of here to left center.
Jose Peraza with his 173rd hit. That's significant because it is the most by any shortstop in the National League. As he pops his 13th homer. Now Joey Votto swinging away at the first pitch. Brewers can ill afford a speed bump the rest of the way. They have 11 games remaining in the schedule. They are 3 back in the loss column to the Chicago Cubs. Votto in the air to center field, and Lorenzo Cain will settle under it, and that is the first out of the game as Anderson retires Joey Votto.
Well, let's check out the defense behind Anderson here tonight. You got Yelich, Cain, and Granderson, same outfield as last night. Moustakas at third. Jonathan Schoop gets a started shortstop. It was Arcia last night. Shaw, Aguilar on the right side, and Manny Pena gets the start behind home plate. Last night it was Eric Kratz.
Brewers catchers continue to be impact players, both Kratz and Pena. They've done an excellent job this year. Here's Scooter Gennett now. He's swinging away at the first pitch. You can see a pattern developing with the Reds. Early swings and counts against Chase Anderson.
I prefer not to have to go after the changeup. The changeup always an important pitch for Chase. Every Brewer fan knows that. So what do? You attack that first strike fastball.
Starting play today, Scooter Gennett and Christian Yelich were tied atop the National League leaderboard for batting average. Scooter Gennett is percentage points ahead of Christian Yelich. That's a broken bat. Pop up out to second base, and Travis Shaw for the second out.
Well, let's check out our Pizza Ranch for the win. Chase Anderson's got to limit the home runs. He's already given up the 2-run home run. 30th allowed this year. He had only given up 1 home run in his previous 3 starts. And how long can Michael Lorenzen go? His first starts in 2015. His longest outing this year out of the bullpen came back in mid-August. 4 1/3 against Cleveland.
Now the Reds will be employing their bullpen tonight. Bullpen by committee day. First ball swinging, Tucker Barnhart deep into left center field. Back is Kane. He's got it, and the inning is over. A lot of early swings for the Reds. They get 2 on the board on a Jose Peraza 2-run homer, and the Brewers play from behind tonight. Early in this one, a 2-run homer by Peraza, and the Brewers will play catch-up tonight. Craig Counsell and the Brewers currently 3 back in the loss column, 2.5 back in the standings to the Chicago Cubs. Cubs beat the Diamondbacks last night in Phoenix. Brewers are 3 games clear of the St. Louis Cardinals, not only in the National League Central but also in the second wild card spot as well. Potawatomi batting order. It's Granderson, Yelich, and Kane. In the middle go Shaw, Aguilar, and Moustakas. Scope, Pena, and Chase Anderson round out the starting 9 that will match up against hard-throwing right-hander and former reliever Michael Lorenzen.
Yeah, we mentioned first start in a while. His rookie year in 2015, he was a starter, made 21 starts. Third start against well, he made 3 starts against the Brewers in 2015. He went 1-2 that season. Got to watch him at the plate as well. He can swing it.
Yeah, he's hit 4 home runs this year at the plate. 3 of those have come against the Brewers. So he is a weapon in the 9th spot in that batting order. Granderson back in the leadoff spot. He has been impressive in his starts thus far. This is his 5th game hitting leadoff. The Brewers are 3-1 in his prior 4. He's 11 for 33 with the Brewers with 8 walks.
And taking pitches like that, I mean, he is very disciplined at the plate. One of those veteran guys that the Brewers picked up with good plate discipline.
3 balls and a strike. Granderson fouls it away. Granderson's on base percentage as a Brewer is at .556. Has a couple of home runs. Traded from the Blue Jays to the Brew Crew, and immediately enters into a pennant race, which he is very familiar. And he draws the walk, and just like that, the Brewers put a man on. How about Granderson with his 9th walk? He's hardly been here 2 weeks, and he's got 9 walks already.
And you wonder why he's in the leadoff spot. That's why. He gets on base. Gets on base, he draws his walks, and he has some pop. He can hit some home runs for you.
Nice hand, rightly so, for Christian Yelich. What a player he has been, and now has not 1 but 2 signature moments of the season. Hitting for a cycle is such a rare feat, similar to a no-hitter, but then to do it twice, it's only happened 3 times in the modern era of baseball. 2 cycles in the same season.
And just incredible stuff out of Yelich. He's been terrific all season long, but his second half, when the Brewers need him most, he has risen to the occasion. Amazing stuff in the second half this year.
Those are the ranks right now in the National League. The batting average just percentage points behind Jeanette, and then you got a .955 OPS, which is the leader in the National League. That is a significant stat for a lot of voters for MVP, combining the on base and the slugging. And by any way you cut it, Yelich has put this Brewers ball club on his back in his first year in Milwaukee, and he has been at his best in the clutch. Second half moving into September, nobody's had a better run at the plate in the month of September than Christian Yelich.
And you knew that he was going to be a good player coming over, but you really didn't realize how good he was until you get to see him play every day. At the Marlins, you see him maybe 6-7 times a year. Yeah, he's pretty good. But every day you watch him, it's amazing the things he can do to help you win.
Now playing both corner outfield positions as well. He played center field exclusively last year with the Marlins. He's been a Gold Glover in left field. And to adapt to 2 positions and continue to hit like he is. Looks like Lorenzen and Barnhart not agreeing on the pitch sequence here to Yelich. Lead man on, and Granderson a leadoff walk. What was interesting about the cycle last night for Yelich, single, double, homer, triple, but also each pitch sequence had a particular spot as well. So he had a first pitch hit, a 2-pitch base hit, had a hit on a 3-pitch sequence, and then a 4-pitch sequence.
How about that?
So 1, 2, 3, 4 across the board on how many pitches he saw.
Double cycle.
Yeah, it's kind of a double cycle. Our friends at Inside Edge coming up with that number. Nice little nugget.
The natural cycle is single, double, triple, homer. He had single, double, homer, triple.
Right.
Yeah, just missed it. Not that that matters.
Kind of messes up the scorebook a little bit, the feng shui, but it still works.
Yeah.
2-2 to Yelich. And a called strike 3, high fastball, got him. Yelich disagrees, and there is out number 1 for Lorenzen.
And he got a borderline call on a high strike. Yeah, it looked pretty good on the replay. Up and in. Looked like it had the plate.
Lorenzen has a great arm. I'll be curious to see how he pitches velocity wise as a starter. Is he trying to hold a little bit back, or does he go with a big fastball? That looked like a cut fastball at 92, and he's already hit 96.
You got to believe he's going to pace himself just a little bit. I mean, he has that natural, finish to his fastball, that 95 right down the middle. When he's working out of the bullpen, he can give you 97, 98 every now and again.
Lorenzo Cain batting with 1 away. Little half swing roller out to Lorenzen. Fires to second, out there, and it is a double play. Didn't mean to do it. Cain ends up as a 1-6-3 double play to end the inning. 2-0 Reds. We go to the second.
2-0 lead against Chase Anderson and the Brewers. And for Chase Anderson, this is his 4th start against the Reds, his 30th of the season overall, and he's had good success against the Reds. In his 3 previous starts, he has won all of them. The earned run average just over 3 there, and he's given up only 7 earned runs across those starts. So for Chase Anderson, he's coming off of 4 shutout innings against the Cubs, and he said really what's been successful for him lately is using the fastball up in the zone and then also using the changeup to righties. He says that's something he and pitching coach Derek Johnson have worked on a lot, is using that fastball up. He said it's a pitch that looks good coming out of the hand but gets a lot of swing and miss for him. But the big thing for him, location. He said obviously not to leave it over in the middle of the plate and keep it above the strike zone.
And work ahead in the count, which he's not been able to do so far tonight.
2-0 to Phillip Ervin starting this 2nd inning. And there's the breaking ball. That's a good one in there for a strike. He has the 4-pitch mix. Fastball, curveball, cutter, changeup. Anderson, the opening day starter for the Brewers this year. He was extremely honored to get that call. Does not take it lightly. Did sign a multi-year extension in the offseason and hasn't been quite himself compared to what we saw last year. Even the year before, that was his best year as a member of the Brewers. He's open for a finishing kick.
Yeah, but it's not like he's given up a ton of runs. It's not the issue for Chase. It's, you know, not being able to pitch too deep into games. I mean, that has been a problem for him. Last time he went over 5 innings was back against the Reds back in August 20th.
There's a good comeback as Anderson strikes out Phillip Ervin. Got him again on a breaking ball and his first strikeout. And that's how the 2nd inning starts.
Yep, he's most effective when he's working ahead in the count with the fastball in the corners, and then working this pitch right here, the changeup down in the strike zone, and you get those hitters out in front. Good pitch to the right-hander. Sophia was just talking about that.
Now, when Chase arrived here to Milwaukee from the Diamondbacks in a trade, he was a sinker, slider, changeup pitcher. He's gone to that high fastball more. That was right down the middle, and Mason Williams rifles it into the gap. Granderson able to cut it off, but Williams into second base with a double. We're lucky to have that one come back. These Reds are swinging early in the counts, and a middle fastball is crushed by Mason Williams.
Yeah, that fastball, when he's able to throw it early in the count on the edges, inside corner, outside corner. That's not where we want to leave one right there. Up, out over the plate, and Williams hammers it out there into the gap in right center.
That is the 3rd hit already for the Reds. 2-run home run from Peraza in the 1st has Cincinnati on top. And here is Brandon Dixon. Young prospect for Cincinnati, Dixon. Getting the call at 3rd base tonight for Eugenio Suarez. He's got big power. He's already hit 5 home runs in the big leagues in just 116 plate appearances. On the ground, Moustakas looks the runner back, and there is out number 2. An important out for Anderson. Now he'll have the pitcher, but it is a pitcher with some pop in his bat.
Yeah, he's no ordinary pitcher, is he?
Well, the Brewers have seen a lot of Lorenzen. 3 for 5 at the plate this year. These are relief appearances where Jim Riggleman has allowed him to stay on and hit. And hit he has. 3 home runs of the 4 he has hit this year, including a grand slam. Driven in 8 runs against the Brewers this season.
Yeah, so that's 9 bats in the lineup tonight.
He was a two-way player at Cal State Fullerton, and he might be emerging as a two-way performer in the major leagues. Shohei Ohtani gets a lot of the headlines about hitting and pitching, but there are a few guys that are starting to get more and more at-bats. Lorenzen is one of them. There are scenarios through the year where the Reds, when you would almost automatically go to a bench bat, where Riggleman has allowed Lorenzen to stay on to hit, and then occasions where he's not even come back out to pitch the next inning.
Right.
Specifically used as a hitter
He's got a good idea at the plate. You know, you talk about the home runs, but still, I mean, he does have an idea. He will draw his walks. He just knows what he's doing at the plate.
The 9 RBIs, a career best. His first year in the big leagues when he was a starter, 2015, he hit 250 that year. He's hitting 308 this season, accumulating all those at-bats as a relief pitcher, which is not easy to do. 2 outs in the second. Runner at second is Williams. 2 balls and a strike. 3-1.
But you can't give him too much credit. I mean, he is a pitcher. He has had some success, but you don't want to walk him to get to Schebler.
Lorenzen is also very fast. Center fielder in college. You can't lay back as an infielder when you get a ground ball off the bat of Lorenzen. Got to play it straight. 3 balls and a strike, and that one misses. Ball 4. Lorenzen not chasing. First walk issued by Anderson. Now first and second with 2 away. Back to the top of the order.
Well, they had a pretty good pitch on the outside corner, down and away.
Saw a shot of Craig Counsell there, already checking his lineup card. Manager already thinking about matchups, where moves can be made with a full bullpen and September call-ups available. It has typically been a quick hook.
Yeah, if a guy doesn't have it, he's gone. I mean, you're not messing around.
2 outs for Schebler, 2 on for the Reds. And again, swinging at the first pitch. This time he got a changeup and a swing and a miss.
He's got better command of that pitch than any of his others. Changeup's been a good one for him. Just can't seem to locate his fastball, put it where he wants it.
Missing with the fastball. Velocity's not bad for Anderson. That's right about where he wants to be. 93, 94 miles an hour. Feels like he's having to work a little harder with the fastball tonight already. 1 ball, 1 strike. Missed badly with a fastball. Now it's 2-1. That is a lonely spot on the mound when you're struggling with your most important pitch.
And if you're catching back there, you're just trying to hunt strikes. I mean, anything he can throw for a strike, and the fastball's not been a good pitch. Change-up situation here, 2-1.
Multiple signs with the runner at second base. And it is a change, and it's pulled foul. Nice play by the ball girl. She's had a couple of nifty gems out there tonight. She's getting a lot of activity. These left-handed hitters of the Cincinnati Reds. So 2 change-ups for strikes, 2 fastballs out of the strike zone. If you're Scott Schebler, what are you thinking about right here?
Maybe land a curveball right here for Chase.
2-2. Williams and Lorenzen on the bases. And a swing and a miss. He got him with a high fastball. Chased ball 3. And Anderson is out of the inning. Strands 2 Reds. On Fox Sports Wisconsin is brought to you by Hupy and Abraham. Voted best, rated best, Hupy and Abraham. Tell them you mean business. By Miller Lite, great taste and only 96 calories. And by Menards, save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs.
Our Fan Appreciation Weekend's coming up in Miller Park, Friday, September 28th through Sunday the 30th. The first 20,000 fans in attendance for each game against the Tigers will get a scratch-off card featuring a chance to win tickets, memorabilia, and other awesome prizes. For tickets, go to Brewers.com.
Speaking of appreciation, we have our crew appreciation night tonight. Our television crew, our great technicians, and all those who work behind the scenes here at Fox Sports Wisconsin.
Well,
we're going to feed them after the game tonight. I hope you brought your wallet.
Yeah, I got it. I got it.
So we're looking forward to that. We appreciate all the great work all year. Hope you've enjoyed our coverage this season. We're not done yet, but tonight's the night where
looking forward to their speeches tonight.
Yep.
Every year we talk, but this year they're talking.
Yep, that is the theme of the night. As Travis Shaw is drilled by the first offering from Lorenzen. Boy, and he drops in a heap. That one got him good. That was a cut fastball from Lorenzen that just bores in on the legs of Shaw. Athletic trainer Dan Wright, first one out. Craig Counsell joins him. The right knee. Oh my gosh.
Right on the bone. Oh. Joey Votto down at first base, probably cringing looking at that. That's the same thing that happened to him. He had to go on a disabled list.
Man.
And the last thing you need. Well, if nothing else, you know, get him out, get some ice on it, and hopefully he's going to be back quickly, because those things can linger. The exact play that put Joey Votto on the DL.
Yeah, that was a pitch from Ryan Madsen. Votto tried to play through it for a few days after, a week after as a matter of fact, but ultimately had to go on the DL, the 10-day disabled list, and I'm sure that's going through the mind of the manager right now, watching Travis Shaw struggle to even stand.
Now, there's probably no way they're going to keep him in the game. And we'll see, you hope.
Such a big bat for the Brewers. Shaw with 29 homers this year. I think Dan Wright, the athletic trainer, is trying to convince him to take the rest of the night off. Shaw trying to convince otherwise as he takes the slow walk to first base.
One thing to be a gamer, which Travis Shaw is. It's another one to maybe think long term here.
Yeah, I'm with you. Yeah, they'll be keeping a close eye on Travis Shaw the rest of this inning. Yeah, right on the knee, right on the bone.
Yeah, that's a ball on bone right there on the knee.
And a firm fastball at that from Lorenzen. So for now, Shaw's going to stay. Joey Votto says, I feel your pain, brother. Let's hope the result is not the same for Travis Shaw as it was for Joey Votto. You're right. That was a carbon copy of the hit by pitch that Votto endured. So Lorenzen will face Jesus Aguilar now with a man on. Brewers have two base runners and a walk and a hit by pitch to start each of the first two innings. Now Jesus sitting on 32 homers, 99 runs batted in. Aguilar homered on Sunday. Brewers comeback fell short against the Pirates, but Aguilar's first September home run coming on Sunday.
The same pitch right there that Jay Sanderson threw to Lorenzen that home plate umpire called a ball. Only consistent in that strike zone so far.
1 ball, 1 strike. Aguilar flicks it foul. Well, for Aguilar, the 99 RBI is good enough for 5th in the National League. He's 2 ahead of Bryce Harper. Leads the ball club. Yelich now with 93 after his 4 RBI performance yesterday. There's a called strike 3, and Aguilar is rung up. So Lorenzen hits the edge with a 96-mile-an-hour heater.
Yeah, that one clearly in the strike zone that time. He's got good velocity, and it looks fairly effortless for Lorenzen. Able to catch that outer half of the plate.
Gold Glove catcher and Tucker Barnhart sticks the landing. Remember, they used to tell pitchers, don't get beefed up, don't get too muscle bound, it'll affect your pitching. Lorenzen's not buying that theory at all.
He didn't get that memo, did he?
Guns are out. Mike Moustakas takes a ball down and in. Now Moustakas putting together a very good season. Hit 26 home runs. 20 of those coming in Kansas City. Pitcher friendly ballpark in Kansas City. He's already hit 6 here as a member of the Brewers in a month and a half.
Expect to get a lot of playing time down the stretch. Not a lot of left-handed starters the Brewers are going to be dealing with.
One ball, 2 strikes. Moustakas ground ball to Jeanette, and his only play is first. Out number 2. On the play, Shaw advances to second base. Shaw looked like he was running all right there. That knee still bothering him though.
Yeah, you know, it's feeling about as good as it's going to right now tonight. It's going to start stiffening up, you think. You hope it doesn't.
Jonathan Schoop with 2 away. Schoop has homered off Lorenzen. Just 2 at-bats against him after being traded from the Orioles to the Brewers. One swing of the bat. The Brewers tie this one up with 2 outs. Schoop has plenty of pop in his bat. He's at 4 as a Brewer. Schoop has 21 for the year.
Everything away that Lorenzen's thrown. He really hasn't been working the inside part of the plate too much. First couple innings, that might change. He's pounding that outside corner with every one of his pitches.
He's got Schoop 1 and 2, and that one is punched into right field, a base hit. Shaw's going to be held around third. Now the ball's bobbled. Now Shaw's coming home, and Shaw is in there. Schebler had his troubles yesterday in right field and again tonight, and the Brewers able to get one on the board.
Yeah, throwing arm has not been very good for Schebler. At least it wasn't yesterday. And the combination of that and the bobble convinces Ed Cedar to send him home. Travis Shaw not running all that well. After the bobble, Eddie sent them right up the gloves. That's the play right there that caused Ed Cedar to send Travis. Kind of running about half speed. He just can't get it going, and because of the bobble, he keeps going to home and in there easily.
A good slide to the back of the plate and able to get the foot down. So scored as a single and an RBI for Schoop. 2-1 Reds. The Brewers get on the board in the second inning. Now it's Manny Pena, and a first pitch breaking ball in there for a strike.
Yeah, good job by Jonathan Schoop to take a hanging slider and not try and pull it. Just punches it out there in the right field. Big 2-out RBI to get on the board.
Manny Pena has got a little pop in his bat. He's hit 8 home runs this year. He is 3 for 3 in his career against Lorenzen. Craig Counsell pouring through the rosters every day, looking at the starting pitching matchup. And when he makes a decision on whether to go with Kratz or Pena, sometimes it can be something as small as 3 career at-bats because they're pretty level. Schoop takes all, pitch in the dirt, and that'll be a stolen base. He picked the right pitch to run on. And the Brewers have the tying run in scoring position as Schoop steals his first.
And Lorenzen paying no attention to Schoop. I mean, really not giving him much of a look. Schoop with a terrific jump and really no chance for Barnhart.
Well, a base hit could tie it up. 1-2 the count. Pena up the middle, ranging over Peraza. He's got it, and he makes a play to end the inning. But the Brewers get one on the board. A little bobble in right leads to a run in for Milwaukee as Jonathan Schoop with a 2-out hit. And it's 2-1 Cincinnati. We'll keep an eye on Travis Shaw and that knee the rest of the way. Shaw had a sprint around the bases, scored the first Brewers run. He will stay in the game to play second. Keep an eye on Shaw the rest of this one. To the third we go. Jose Peraza will lead off. Peraza, his first time up in our StatCast AI powered by AWS. Launched a home run off Chase Anderson. It got the Reds on the board quickly. 2-run blast. Second batter faced of the night for Anderson. And no doubt about it, once it left the bat of Jose Peraza, who's hit 13 this season. Heart of the order coming up against Chase, Peraza, Votto, and Jeanette. Anderson's had a lot of traffic behind him today. He's given up 3 hits and a walk. Was able to strand 2 last inning in a scoreless frame.
And he just started working ahead in the count. Much more effective. Every pitcher, but in particular Chase Anderson. He doesn't throw hard. Can't really get by with fastballs behind in the count.
Quickly 0-2 on Peraza. And a big sweeping curve misses. Had a scoring change from last inning, partner. They took the RBI away from Jonathan Schoop, so charged Schebler with an error, E9, allowing Shaw to score.
I agree with that. Ed Cedar was holding him up until the bobble. surprised that he was awarded with an RBI in the beginning.
Wayne Frankie taking a look at the replay. The official score tonight, making that change. 2-2 the count, and had Peraza out in front. He stays alive.
As long as you get it right.
Two and Peraza, fly ball shallow right. It's a long run for Granderson. He can't get there, and it's fair, and it'll be a ground rule double. Boy, hit it into no man's land, just inside the line. Granderson was playing deep to begin with, and Jose Peraza has a double now to go along with his 2-run homer.
Yeah. And nothing Granderson can do about that. I mean, he got a good jump on it. Good pitch by Chase. You can see where Scope is, or Shaw is, and he's not running well anyway. He can't get there. Normal second base position, and a guy that can run a little bit might be able to make that catch. And Travis Shaw noticeably limping out there.
So it's a runner at second to start the inning. Here is Votto now. Votto flew out to center field in the first inning. He is the National League leader in on-base percentage to begin play today. .421 is the on-base percentage currently. Lorenzo Cain is among league leaders as well. Lorenzo checks in third in the league today. You got Votto and Paul Goldschmidt, 2 all-star first basemen at the top, and then Lorenzo Cain, the all-star center fielder. He's third. Yelich is on that list as well. He's tied for 5th.
And Joey Votto's walked over 100 times this year. 103 walks for Votto.
Not biting on the changeup, and it's 2-1.
103 walks, 95 strikeouts for Votto. So more walks than strikeouts.
And he's one of the few. Well, I think it's safe to say he is the most disciplined hitter in the game. Knows his strike zone. Rarely chases. Missed the fastball that time as Anderson goes up the ladder.
Effective with that high heater tonight. .94 has been the best fastball. He's thrown that 76-mile-an-hour pitch, a curveball. Changeups are in there 83, 84 miles an hour. Well, Chase has a strikeout with a high fastball tonight. Let's see if he goes back up there. The 2-2. He does, and Votto turns it around, a base hit. Peraza will head to third. Joey Votto with a 2-strike single. And the Reds have 2 on with nobody out in this third inning. Anderson has already allowed 5 hits and a walk. Yeah, tried to go up, but this time he left it out over the plate. You know, the one that Votto missed was a fastball up and in. This one out over the plate, giving Votto a chance to get a bat on it. Dumps it into center field.
Council's got the hat off. Manager's got some stress right now. And he is going to have Corbin Burns start to get ready. It'd be at least 2 hitters before Burns would be ready to come into a game. So this is a dangerous window here for Chase Anderson. Scooter Gennett at the plate. Tucker Barnhart next. 2 on, nobody out. Big swing and a miss.
And it doubled up on the curveball. Good pitch.
Had Scooter out in front of that one, and it's 0-2. Anderson could use a strikeout here.
He's better command of that pitch early in the count. Get him off the fastball a little bit.
Gennett with 22 home runs. the league's leading hitter. 0-2 pitch. Popped him up. Right up the pipe. Pena flips the mask. He'll have a play. And he's got it for the first out. That's a big one for Chase Anderson.
Pretty good pitch to hit for Scooter. 2 curveballs and a high fastball. Just got underneath it. And now your double play gets you out of the inning. Missed his spot. He got it in a little bit, but not as high as he wanted it. And that's a pitch normally Jeanette able to center on, but down in the count 0-2, he was a little bit defensive. Got the barrel on it, but popped it up.
It's like that piece of chocolate cake, Rock.
Yeah.
Looks good, but it is not good for you. Well, now Chase Anderson has a chance to get out of this inning. He's got a dangerous hitter at the plate. Tucker Barnhart, who's got some power. Doesn't strike out much. First and third, one away. Barnhart has bounced into 11 double plays this season. Anderson's found something with his curveball here recently.
Yeah, the last couple of hitters.
That's 3 good ones in a row for him. Here's the 0-1. Inside. Count evens, a ball and a strike. And a flare double to start the inning by Peraza. Votto with a 2-strike single to center. And now Barnhart with 1 away.
Yeah, Peraza didn't get a very good read on that single by Votto. It looked clearly it was a base hit. Of course, easy to say from up here. That gives Chase an opportunity to get out of this inning.
He's working hard, though. Grinding every inning. Multiple base runners in every inning thus far. 5 hits and a walk. 2 balls and a strike on Barnhart. Boom, a changeup had him out in front, and it's 2-2.
Way off the corner.
Well, if you got to go to your junk ball specialty, then you might have to do it.
Off speed, much more consistent in the strike zone than the fastball tonight.
See what he gives him. Pena sets up inside. 2-2, and a bouncer foul. Went with a fastball. And that's the one he's looking for.
Yeah, right on the edge. Yep. You just never know when you throw one that all of a sudden it clicks and you get it right back.
Yeah, maybe all those curveballs helped him click it in.
Well, sometimes you throw those curveballs, it helps you finish your delivery on the fastball.
2-2 again. Anderson deals, and a swing and a miss. He goes back to the fastball. Gets the strikeout. 2 gone in the inning after the first 2 reach. And now Anderson has a chance to get out of this one.
And not where he wanted it. He wanted it inside. Manny Pena is setting up inside. Look where it ends up. And missed by the entire width of the plate, but he got the strikeout.
Perhaps he has found something now. Phillip Ervin stands in. He struck out on a breaking ball, or on a changeup, I should say, in the 2nd inning. Starts it with a curve and gets the strike. It's an old baseball phrase called the kitchen sink. And Chase Anderson is deep into the kitchen sink right now. He's throwing everything he's got.
Yep. 4 seamers, cutters, 2 seamers, curveball, changeup. Trying to find something he's comfortable with. Now all of a sudden he's throwing all of his pitches much better.
No balls and a strike. And he got the fastball right by him.
It all comes down to those 2 curveballs to Scooter Jeanette. Things turned around for him this inning.
And now you pitch from ahead in the count. The fastball plays a little faster.
And you don't have to throw a strike.
No balls, 2 strikes. 2 outs in the inning. And a called strike 3. He dropped a picture perfect changeup on the outside corner. A ring up to end it. And perhaps Anderson, with the bullpen active, has found something here in the 3rd inning. The change of pace. Down goes Irvin. Red strand a pair. 2-1 Cincinnati.
Trying to prepare for the possibility of October baseball at Miller Park, and you can secure your postseason strip by placing a deposit on the 2019 season ticket plan. Find the right plan today by going to brewers.com/season tickets.
Chase Anderson leads off at the plate, breaks his bat, and out number 1 on the first pitch of the 3rd for Lorenzen. Brewers getting a run last inning. That'll be an unearned run. Error from the right fielder Schebler allowed the run to score. Brewers have 1 hit. Lorenzen's walked a man. He's hit a batter. And back to the top of the order, 2nd time around. The duration of this start is the biggest question for Michael Lorenzen tonight. Normally a reliever into the starting rotation for this one. First start since 2015.
Longest start this year, back mid-August, 4 1/3 innings against the Indians. That was at Great American Ballpark in Cincinnati.
Oh-2 to Granderson, pulls it right to Jeanette, bobbles it, and will recover in time to get the out for out number 2. Stood there and took it right in the chest.
Yep, you play it off to the side, it's in the right field. Take one for the team, Scooter.
2 gone for Christian Yelich, who's in our BP Brighter picture tonight. See what he's done since the All-Star break. So he leads the National League since the break in homers. He's hit 20 of his 31 since the All-Star break. 50 RBIs, number 1, leads in extra base hits and total hits. So when you talk about a guy with a contending team that is performing when it matters most, second half and then specifically into September, that is what an MVP looks like.
Right, a guy that a lot more pressure on his at bats than a player that's not in a race. Not to minimize anybody's efforts, regardless of whether they're in a pennant race or not, but you think about Yelich and what his at bats mean on a nightly basis.
You'd have to think right now Javi Baez and Christian Yelich are the 2 front runners. Matt Carpenter has slipped a little bit with the Cardinals. Paul Goldschmidt's team, the Diamondbacks, have fallen out of the race. They're still on the periphery, but going to be a long shot at this point. And because so many players, the two guys in Colorado, Trevor Story, who looks like he may be out for the rest of the season, and Nolan Arenado, because their numbers are all so similar, it's going to be a wide open race. I mean, it's a total pick'em this year for the National League Most Valuable Player. And I do think what happens here in the next 10 to 12 days is going to determine the MVP. And that's why hitting for the cycle last night carries a lot of weight for Yelich.
Put yourself in the news in a big way doing that. 2 times in 2.5 weeks. You betcha.
2-2. And it just missed. Count goes full to Yelich with Kane on deck.
Tough pitch to take with 2 strikes. Change up.
And a chopper right to Lorenzen. And that will end the inning. 3 up and 3 down for the Reds starter. 2-1. Cincinnati has the lead. We have 3 in the books at Miller Park. That knee has stiffened up. Hernan Perez will take over at short. And so that'll move Scope over to second base, and Travis Shaw is out of the game. He tried his best to continue, but Rock, you kind of saw that coming. The longer he waited, the more problems he was going to have to face.
He just wasn't able to move around all that well at short, and you can't expect much of him at the plate with a knee that's sore like that.
So Anderson, who seemed to have locked in on something last inning, gets a first ball swing out of Williams. And Scope now on the right side of the infield gets the first ball right at him, out number 1.
Well, what he's done, he's locked in on the curveball. After first and third, nobody out. Scooted Jeanette at the plate. First 2 pitches to Jeanette curveballs, and these are 2 best curveballs he's thrown so far tonight. And that opens up everything else. I mean, it slows the bat down when you throw that curveball very well. He gets him on a pop-up, then a swing and a miss, and then all of a sudden a changeup right on the outside corner. So once you start throwing that curveball effectively, everything else opens up.
Well, we'll see how he goes along the rest of this game, but that 3rd inning for Chase Anderson, he gives up 2 hits to start it. The first one was a little flare, a fortunate hit for Peraza, a double. Then he gave up a 2-strike hit to Votto, and suddenly Corbin Burns is loosening in the bullpen. And you're thinking maybe 2 batters. If he doesn't retire the next 2 hitters, he's probably out of the game.
Yeah, first and third, nobody out. Scooter Jeanette at the plate. I mean, he's able to get him on a pop-up. That changed the whole inning.
There's a good changeup, a big swing and a miss by Dixon. 1 ball, 2 strikes now.
And now all of a sudden he's working ahead in the count. Makes a big difference.
It's got the young hitter in a hole, 1-2. Dixon grounded to third his first time up. Wants to start over with Pena. It's always fascinating to watch the Brewers catchers work with their pitchers. Their day begins with the scouting reports. I should back it up. The day begins for those guys when they're not even a part of it yet. The pitching coach, Derek Johnson, pouring through the reports, bringing the most important numbers to the table, developing the game plan. And then they arrive to the park as Anderson walks Dixon. And then after the first round of batting practice, the catcher, in this case Pena, he'll go back into the clubhouse where the starting pitcher will meet in the office, and they will go through each hitter and each pinch hitter, and it is an ordeal to say the least before you finally arrive onto a mound. There's a lot of book work involved.
And then you get to think about your offense if you have time. That's what makes it interesting. It makes it a little bit more unique for a catcher to put up those big offensive numbers. Maybe that's a good thing. They don't spend a lot of time dwelling on offense and at bats. They got so many other things on their mind.
Here is Lorenzen, the pitcher, and a swing and a miss.
And you know, the scouting report on Joey Votto is different for each and every one of the starters the Brewers throw out there on a nightly basis. It's different for Miley, and it's going to be different for Chase Anderson.
Well, he's one of the best pitching coaches going right now. Derek Johnson has been with Counsell. Counsell took over on a full-time basis. This is Johnson's third year. Had tremendous success at Vanderbilt as a college pitching coach. Had pitchers like David Price and Sonny Gray, among others. And then was in the Cubs system on a professional level as their pitching coordinator before coming to Milwaukee.
Not too many people knew who he was when he got signed on with the Brewers, but they learned quickly that he knows what he's talking about. He kind of thinks out of the box. I mean, kind of thinks a little bit differently than some other coaches, and pitching up in the strike zone is one of the things that the Brewers have incorporated that's been very effective for them. That's all Derek Johnson.
Pairing those pitches, coming out of the same slot and then pitching with pace. Lorenzen tries to shoot one to right, fouls it away. That swing right there is all you need to know about this pitcher at the plate. I mean, he is no regular pitcher with a bat in his hand. He's trying to drive that ball down the right field line. Comes up with an idea.
And he's got a two-strike approach. I mean, not too many pitchers have that. I mean, they go up there first pitch, it's a two-strike approach.
That's right. Anderson looking for a ground ball here. No balls, 2 strikes, and a foul out of play. Lorenzen again, that opposite field swing.
You got to make your pitches on him, but he's still a pitcher. I mean, let's face it. I mean, you don't want to be, too careful with him. And he's going to get his hits. He's going to hit a home run from time to time, and he's done that against the Brewers. But you can't give him too much credit. The guy on deck, that leadoff hitter, pretty good chance he's going to hurt you a lot more than Lorenzen's going to on an average basis.
Anderson stayed away from him for the most part. Taylor Williams beginning to get loose in the Brewer bullpen. Oh, 0-2 again. And did he go? Throw to first. He did go. It is a ring up by the first base umpire. So a strikeout for Anderson. Second out of the inning. Dixon still at first and back to the top of the order. And we check in with Sophia Minnaert. She's got an update on Travis Shaw.
Yeah, the update from the Brewers clubhouse, they're calling it a right knee contusion for Travis Shaw. That was after he was hit by a pitch here in the second inning by Michael Lorenzen, and that put him down in a hurry. So again, that's a right knee contusion for Travis Shaw. We'll get more after the game.
Yeah, that'll be big tomorrow when we arrive to the ballpark. That'll be big news for the Brewers to see if Shaw. There is an off day Thursday, so pretty good bet it'll be a couple of days down for Travis Shaw.
Yankees like to have him 100%. They win to Pittsburgh. All those right-handed pitchers that the Pirates are going to throw at the Brewers.
Counsell working the phones to the bullpen. Schebler with a swing and a miss to start the count. Has a single and a run scored and then a strikeout. Changeup out in front. 0-2 the count on Schebler. That's such a good pitch for Anderson when he's got it dialed in.
Especially when he's throwing his fastball effectively. Yeah, down and away, good movement. Going away from the lefty. Close enough to swing at.
He's got him 0-2. Schebler shortens up, chokes up on the bat. Leans over that plate. And a fly ball into left center field. Trouble. That's going to get down and go to the warning track. Coming around is Dixon, and he will score. And it's a 2-strike, 2-out RBI double.
Yeah, can't make mistakes like that. 0-2 pitch right down the middle.
Scott Schebler makes it 3-1 Cincinnati.
Really good changeup right before this pitch. I mean, that's just too good a pitch with 2 strikes. 0-2 right down the middle, and Schebler finds the gap out in left field. Williams with good speed, or Dixon with good speed, able to come around to score. That's a killer. A 2-out 0-2 double by Scott Schebler.
Counsell sending Pena out to chat with Chase Anderson, and he will buy a few extra tosses for his bullpen, and that's the end of the line here for Anderson. Taylor Williams ready to come in. Xavier Cedeno, the left-hander, just now started throwing, and it's going to be another short start for Anderson. Into the bullpen quickly tonight. 3 2/3 innings for Chase Anderson. We'll set up Taylor Williams when we continue. Like he had it dialed in, but then gives up a 1-out walk to Dixon, and then a 2-strike 2-out double off the bat of Scott Schebler. 3 runs all earned, still a runner his responsibility. Reds get a run back, and it's 3-1. Here's Taylor Williams to face Jose Peraza.
Yeah, 52nd appearance for Taylor. 0-3 record, 432 earned run average. Last pitched way back on Tuesday a week ago at Wrigley Field against the Cubs. A third of an inning with a strikeout. Pretty good strikeout numbers for Williams. 56 punch-outs in 50 innings of work.
Jose Peraza, who is 2 for 2 tonight. 2-run home run in the first, and then he had a flare double in the third.
Probably the big reason why Chase Anderson got pulled, because Peraza had 2 for 2 against him.
A lot more velocity from Taylor Williams, and he starts him with a slider in there for a strike. Timeout is asked for and granted by Peraza. Fresh look for Taylor Williams. The long hair is gone. Hardly recognized him today when he walked by me in batting practice. Missed 2 years with Tommy John surgery. Actually tried to put off the surgery for nearly a year. Tried to come back without surgery, but that didn't work. There's a pop-up. Had him out in front. And Perez will make the catch. The inning is over. And Williams able to strand an inherited runner. Reds are up 3-1. Brewers coming to bat. Kane, Perez, Aguilar. Baseball on Fox Sports Wisconsin is brought to you by the Wisconsin Lottery, reminding you to please play responsibly. By Ascension, coming together to give healthcare a better name. We are Ascension. And by Wisconsin Dells, the water park capital of the world. Well, Brewers trying to turn the worm in this game a little bit. The Reds have a 3-1 lead. Brewers are hoping this is a playoff year. Have not been to the postseason since the 2011 division winning season. Made it into the NLCS that year against the Cardinals. Brewers have 86 wins. That matches their total from last year with 11 games to play. It's a sluggish start to this game, though. The Brewers are going to have to rally it up quickly.
Yeah, one hit, although the one hit did produce a run.
Lorenzo Cain starts it, and Lorenzen pounds him inside with that fastball. Lorenzen's been good. Got to give him credit. He's throwing hard, varying up his pitches and throwing strikes with all of them.
Yeah, most of the time he's been working away. Maybe third time through, maybe mix it up, start to come inside a little bit.
And Cain is down on strikes. Third strikeout for Lorenzen. pitching here in the 4th inning. It is certainly coming to the end of his night at some point soon. He's going to be on a pretty limited pitch count. I'd say 50-60 pitches or so.
Yeah, there is activity out in that bullpen for Cincinnati.
Sal Romano, who had been in the rotation, is preparing. Here's Hernan Perez. First at bat for Perez. He's hitting for Travis Shaw, who left this game with a knee contusion after being hit by a Lorenzen pitch.
A bruise, which is what you figured it was going to be.
Only thing it looked like it was going to bruise is a bone, which can be a problem. There's a chopper out to Jeanette. And a high throw. No problem for Votto. 2 outs in the inning.
Hasn't been a whole lot of hard contact off of Lorenzen tonight. Even a base hit by Skov wasn't a bullet.
Well, Jesus Aguilar trying to find the barrel on one. He's got 32 home runs this year in the Powerball home run leaderboard. Aguilar's home runs are inside the top 10 in the league. He's only 3 back of the National League leader, Matt Carpenter. Got a couple of guys at 34 homers, and Arenado and Harper, Bryce Harper, and then a logjam with 33. Participated in the home run derby this year. And he just missed that one. A high pop up into right. Lorenzen retires the Brewers 1, 2, 3, and he has retired 7 in a row. We go to the 5th. It's Cincinnati 3, Milwaukee 1. Will be the new network home of Thursday Night Football. Got one can't miss matchup after another. Thursday Night Football coming to Fox week 4. Now it's a game. Brewers have made some changes here. Keon Broxton will enter the game in center field. And the new pitcher is Xavier Cedeno. Don't know if this is a double switch or if it is an injury situation. We'll have to find out. McCain is out of the game. Lorenzo made the first out last inning. He was also taken out of yesterday's game prior to its conclusion. I think that was more because of the score.
Yeah, get him off his feet. I'm not sure that's the case tonight, though. Yeah, Cedeno has been pretty good as a Brewer. He's made 8 scoreless appearances. Covers 5 1/3 innings. A scoreless inning against the Pirates on Sunday here at Miller Park. So Shaw's out. Now Kane's out.
And Cedeno, the Matchup left-handed for the Brewers. Been getting more full innings of work on occasion, and he'll start this Cincinnati fifth with Joey Votto, Scooter Gennett, and Tucker Barnhart. 3 hitters, 2 lefties that you'd have the matchup with, and then a switch hitter who you'd rather hit right-handed.
Yeah, Craig Counsell going matchups early. 5th inning.
Chase Anderson goes 3 2/3, gives up 3 runs. Taylor Williams strands an inherited runner, goes a third of an inning. Votto had a hit his last time up, had a 2-strike single to center field in the 3rd. He is 1 for 2.
It's that curveball from Xavier Cedeno, who's got a good one to go with a cutter. Been throwing strikes, effective against lefties.
Coming to the Brewers from the Chicago White Sox. That was a move that was made just prior to the September 1st deadline. Brewers were in Washington, D.C. when Cedeno and Granderson were at it. He's been a nice addition. Little half swing roller down the line, and Votto with a single beating the shift. And it was a shift beating kind of swing for Joey Votto.
And just an emergency hack on a pitch in on him. Vintage Votto, just be able to, his ability to put the bat on the baseball. Check this out. I mean, excuse me, swing, just trying to make contact somehow, some way, and able to keep it inside the third baseline. Nobody even close. And Yelich was shaded that direction and keeps Votto at first base.
Only Joey Votto gets hits like that.
Yeah.
That's the first hit by a left-handed batter against Cedeno in his time with the Brewers. 1 for 9 are lefties. Now it is Gennett. Reds have 7 hits tonight. Right off the end of the bat, right to Perez. Long shovel to Scope. No chance for a double play there. Joey Votto not pictured.
Well, he had to freeze. He wasn't sure the ball was going to be, on a hop. He might have thought it was going to be caught in the air. Scooter's not hustling all the way. Check out Perez. Either way, it was not going to be a double play because Joey Votto was not going to get doubled off. Check him out.
So I'll just head this way.
And Perez catches it in the air. That's not a double play.
Gennett replaces Votto on the bases. Fielder's choice. And with 1 away, here is Barnhart. Good block back there by Pena. That was a tough chance. That one skipped well in front of the plate, and Pena able to smother it. By any means necessary on a pitch like that, huh?
Yeah, keep that double play alive. Man, he's been real good on these this year. And he's able to keep it in the glove. That's a bonus.
Barnhart, the switch hitter. Swing and a miss. 1-1 the count.
There's a lot of luck involved in blocking a ball that bounces in front of home plate. But if you put yourself in good position, your chances are better. Which Manny was able to do.
In there. 1-2 on Barnhart. It's about as much as you'll get out of the fastball from Cedeno. He's 87 to 90 miles an hour. He's got an excellent changeup. And a funky delivery as well, right? Straight over the top.
Yeah, something you don't see from many lefties. Like they drop down a little bit to be a little bit more effective on the angle of left-handed batters, but not Cedeno. He's Got that cut fastball. He feels as though when he goes over the top on it, it's a little bit more tilt, a little bit more downward movement with it. Acts more like a slider.
Two on Barnhart. Off his foot. It's Corbin Burns, who was loosening in the 3rd inning before Anderson settled in. Now he's back up. Got a right-handed hitter in Philip Urban due next. 13th pitch of the inning for Cedeno. And the 2-2, and it's in the dirt. Another good block by Pena. Keeps that double play in order.
And a man out of scoring position.
Here's a payoff. Barnhart fights it off.
See that cut fastball ends up down out of the strike zone most of the time. He's doing a good job keeping the ball down. That's the way you get your ground balls.
This will be pitch number 8 coming. Getting started with a half swing base hit by Votto. Jeanette with a ground out, or a fielder's choice, resulting in a 6-4 ground ball. And a swing and a miss. Cedeno strikes him out for out number 2.
They've stayed with it. A lot of cutters, a couple of curveballs in there. And watch the movement on it. You can see the rotation going down. He gets a lot of downward tilt to that because of his release point.
Looks like he's throwing it right out of his ear. You look at a guy like Xavier Cedeno and then compare him with, say, Josh Hader. You could not have 2 more different release points of the baseball than those 2. Josh Hader looks like he's throwing it from second base, where a second baseman would be playing. Cedeno looks like he's throwing it from the actual second base.
Sometimes hitters will tell you that when pitchers do that, they hide it pretty well. They can't pick it up. It's all about release point and delivery. Josh Hader hides the baseball very well, but he turns his back on the hitter.
Hader was brilliant last night once again. Struck out the side. His last 13 outs have been via the strikeout. Two balls, no strikes on Philip Urban. He has struck out twice tonight. Reds with a runner at first, and a swing and a miss. Cedeno has bounced around quite a bit in his career. This is his 8th year in the big leagues. He's been with the Astros, the Nationals, the Rays, most recently the White Sox. He's never pitched in a postseason game. He's hoping this is the year. There's a liner to right field. Granderson coming in, and he's got it. Curtis Granderson with a sliding catch. Inning is over. The Grandy man, you know he still can. Excellent play. Got a good jump. Brings it in to end the inning, and the Reds strand a runner.
out to SunTrust Park in Atlanta, and here's a look at the 4th inning. Paul DeYoung's 2-run home run to left center field off of Anibal Sanchez. That gives the Cardinals a 2-1 lead. That's currently the score there in the 5th in Atlanta. Ronald Acuna Jr. has also homered in that game. That's his 26th homer of the season. The Brewers currently have a 3-game lead over the Cardinals in that second wild card spot.
All right, Sophia, thanks for the update. There is the wild card race with the Brewers 3 clear, and actually 3.5 clear of the Colorado Rockies. The top 2 spots make it into the postseason. The top spot hosts the game. As it stands right now, the Brewers would host the wild card game, which would be the first Tuesday of October. New pitcher is Sal Romano, and Mike Moustakas is at the plate to lead off, and the Brewers, due to pitch count, finally chase Michael Lorenzen, who pitched a gem across his first 4 innings. Moustakas high in the air to center field, and Mason Williams there for out number 1.
I'm not sure if they chased Lorenzen, but Jim Riggleman deciding that was enough for him. 4 innings, and longest outing this year, 4 1/3. Sal Romano taking over, had a rough time of it as a starting pitcher. Much better out of the bullpen.
Brewers have not had a base runner since Jonathan Scope singled in the 2nd inning. That's 9 in a row retired. Scope takes strike 1. Michael Lorenzen goes 4 innings, 1 hit. The single by Scope, which produced a run, but only after an error by Schebler in right field. Thus the unearned run on Lorenzen's line. Lorenzen walked a batter, struck out 3, also hit a batter, Travis Shaw, who had to leave this game with a bruise on the knee. 0-2 pitch. Scope strikes out. 2 gone.
This guy's got a good fastball. Fastball, curveball, basically. He's a guy that's basically a 2-pitch pitcher, which really doesn't work too well as a starter, but coming out of the bullpen, you can just rear back and let it go. Go as hard as you can for as long as you can and mix in a couple of those curveballs.
Threw a nasty hook to get Scope for the 2nd out. And here is Manny Pena. If Pena can reach here in this 5th inning, the pitcher spot due up, Ryan Braun would hit next. Pena with a ground out, his first time up, 0 for 1. Broken bat. This is Dixon, and that will retire the side. Brewers go in order once again. 3-1 Cincinnati. 5 innings in the books. We are on our way to the 6th.
here at Miller Park, and during today's pregame ceremony, the Brewers honored one of the 7 sellers that sold the most 50-50 raffle tickets to fans this year by letting them throw out a ceremonial first pitch. Through the 50-50 raffle, BCF is able to support numerous organizations throughout the season, so congratulations to the entire 50-50 seller staff for making a difference in our community all season long.
Well, it's made quite an impact, and a lot of winners in there, and it's raised a lot of money for some great causes around our community. We go to the 6th inning. Xavier Cedeno, a rare multi-inning outing, is on to face Mason Williams, who shows bunt. You're down at the bottom of the order. It's stacked with some left-handers. You got Mason Williams leading off, a right-hander due next in Brandon Dixon. See how long Cedeno will be left out there. A little tapper right back to the mound. Cedeno fires it to first in time. Out number 1. He's pitching well.
Yep, keep him out there. Well, maybe not.
Just as you said that, Craig Counsell popped out of that dugout. And now he will give the ball to Corbin Burns, and I'm sure what he hopes will be a few innings. Good job by Cedeno, bridging the gap. Brewers still in this one, 3-1 Reds. Cedeno an inning and a third. On your mobile device with Fox Sports Go. Download the app, take Fox Sports Wisconsin and Brewers baseball with you wherever you go. This crowd is eager to cheer a little bit, but the Reds pitchers have shut down the Brewers offense. There is a run on the board. It was an unearned run for Milwaukee, but the Brewers are still right there. It's 3-1 Reds. We're in the 6th, and the new pitcher is Corbin Burns.
And Burns has been terrific. A 5-0 record, looking to go 6-0 with the Brewers come back here tonight. 25th appearance and a .287 earned run average. Last time we saw Burns was on Saturday against the Pirates.
And a first pitch breaking ball and a big swing and a miss by Brandon Dixon. Burns has a great slider, big fastball. He's got them all, actually. Has been very impressive in his rookie year. It's hard to match the rookie season of Josh Hader last year, a starter who was converted to the bullpen in a pennant race. But Burns is quietly putting together a tremendous rookie campaign. And most likely he'll be headed back to the starting rotation, and he'll have a great chance to win a spot in the big league rotation next season. And a swing and a miss. He powered him up with a fastball. A strikeout for Corbin Burns. It's out number 2.
And the thing about Burns, he's getting so much more confident in his other pitches. You know, the curveball and a changeup, he's starting to throw those pitches a little bit more to go along with the fastball slider. That fastball right on the edge.
Two gone. Here is Sal Romano getting an at bat as a relief pitcher. He certainly fills up the box at 6'5", 270. He's a big man.
Big strike zone.
2 hits on the year. He's driven in a pair and does have a ton of at bats, pitching as a starter this year with the Reds. Well, Burns trying to finish off this 6th. Was walking into the dugout. That one looked inside on the pitch tracks. 2-2 the count. Well, now you've got to lay one in there. You don't want to deal with Schebler with a man on.
Right. Schebler with that 0-2 double to score a run. Back and forth.
3-2 pitch. And a little chopper. Aguilar will backhand it. Burns is there for him, and that will retire the side. Good work by Corbin Burns. Comes on, gets the last 2 outs. Brewers are down a pair, trying to get their bats going here at Miller Park. Christian Yelich, he's just the man to do it. We'll see him hit as we go to the home 6th. Milwaukee Brewers baseball on Fox Sports Wisconsin is brought to you by Miller Lite. Great taste and only 96 calories. And by Toyota. Let's go places.
Hey, enhance your next Brewers game day experience at Miller Park by downloading the MLB Ballpark app. With Ballpark, you can access and manage your tickets, plus enjoy check-in offers, exclusive content, baseball bingo, and much more. Download the Ballpark app today. Free for your smartphone or tablet.
Had a good crowd on a Tuesday night here at Miller Park. Brewers and the Reds. Brewers winning yesterday in convincing fashion. And the historic efforts of Christian Yelich with his 2nd cycle of the year. Tyler Saladino is going to pinch hit for the Brewers with Romano back on the mound, starting his 2nd inning. Brewers have gotten great success from their pinch hitters in the month of September. Mostly Domingo Santana, who's hit home runs in his last 2 pinch hit appearances. Saladino has a pinch hit home run this month in his first game back from AAA with the Brewers.
Yeah, Bob in Washington. Craig Counsell hoping to use Santana with a couple of men on.
Go back to the top of the order after this. Granderson and Yelich are awaiting. 1-2 the count. Saladino strikes out for the first out of the inning. Well, there is nothing going on for the Brewers offensively right now.
No.
That's 11 straight retired.
Yeah, one hit produced a run. It wasn't even an RBI. An error was in there. Let's see what happens third time through.
There is Granderson's night at the plate, presented by Blaze Pizza. Walked in the first, bounced out his next time up. Big Sal Romano. Granderson in the air, center field, hit well. Williams on the run. Williams at the track, and he makes the catch. Over the shoulder catch by Mason Williams. Takes extra bases away from Curtis Granderson.
Yeah, that was a terrific play. He wasn't playing very deep out there. Had to turn his back. It was almost one of those Willie Mays catches. In the polo grounds. Check this out. Heck of a job out there by Williams. Over his shoulder and able to haul it in right in front of the fence.
Granderson hits it to the deepest part of the ballpark. And Williams able to track it down. That was a heck of a play. Now Yelich with 2 outs, and he lines one. That is going to fall for a base hit. And finally, the Brewers get a man on. They have not had a hit since the second inning. Of course, it would be Christian Yelich to get him going in the 6th inning.
Yep, and a base hit to right and left field. Opposite field base hit, a little bit off the end of the bat. And giving Keon Broxton an opportunity, representing the tying run.
It'll be the first at bat for Broxton. He took over for Lorenzo Cain. I have no report yet on Cain. The fact that it was a straight up change would indicate there's some kind of injury or illness. Sophia's down there efforting. Lorenzo Cain 0 for 2 in his first 2 at bats. Now Broxton up there for the first time.
Yeah, you're not going to be double switching Lorenzo Cain out of the game for no reason. Even though it wasn't a double switch, but yeah, you hope it's nothing serious.
Brewers have had 2 players in the starting lineup exit this game. Travis Shaw and Lorenzo Cain. So that puts Broxton and Perez in the 3 and 4 spot in the batting order. Yelich at first. 1 ball, 1 strike. And a defensive swing by Broxton. It is 1-2 now.
It's that breaking ball from Sal Romano. A good pitch. You know, he throws so hard. You got to start that bat a little bit sooner than you'd like, and then you become very vulnerable to that off-speed pitch.
One and 2 the count. There goes Yelich. Pitches in the dirt. Throw to second. He is late. Pops out of the glove of Jeanette. That's a stolen base for Yelich. Barnhart normally a very good throwing catcher. That was a tough pitch to handle. Christian Yelich with his 20th stolen base of the year.
Yeah, a guy like Romano, you can run on him. Look at the pitch that Barnhart got to throw on. Pitch in the dirt. Even a good throw right on the bag's not going to be in time.
20 steals and 31 home runs. Only the 3rd player in franchise history to go 20-30. 2-2 in the dirt. Good block by Barnhart. For Yelich, who feels like he's clicking off historical moments every game. He's the third player. It's the fifth occasion that a player has had at least 30 homers and at least 20 stolen bases in a season. Ryan Braun's done it 3 times. Last time 2012. The first to do it in franchise history was the first year in Milwaukee. Tommy Harper, 1970. Payoff pitch to Broxton with Yelich ready to run. And he got him. A strikeout to end the inning. Brewers finally get a hit, but they cannot bring him home. Still 3-1 Reds. We go to the 7th. The Reds jumping on Chase Anderson early. 2-run home run. Jose Peraza in the first inning before there was an out. And the Reds had a 2-0 lead. Anderson settled in somewhat. Jonathan Scope with a base hit to right. There was an error by Schebler that allowed Shaw to score. That run came in the second inning. And it was 2-1 at that time. But then the Reds add one more to it on a 2-out 2-strike double by Schebler. And he made it 3-1. That was Chase Anderson's last hitter. Chase goes 3 2/3 today with 3 earned runs. It's been the bullpen ever since. Williams, Cedeno, Burns, and now Dan Jennings is on the pitch as we go to the 7th.
Well, you got some left-handers to deal with. You got Schebler, Peraza, then Votto, 2 of the 3 left-handed. Then after that, Jeanette. Jennings last pitched on Saturday against the Pirates, retired the only batter that he faced. Overall 70th appearance for Jennings. He's worked a lot this year, and he's got a .316 earned run average.
Shift is on with Schebler at the plate, and he pulls the first pitch. Bad hop right at Aguilar. No problem for the big man, and 1 pitch and 1 out. Schebler's been swinging early in the counts all night long, and he's got 2 hits to show for him.
Especially against lefties, he'll do that if he gets one he likes early.
1 pitch, 1 out for Jennings. Well, with the addition of Xavier Cedeno, Jennings has certainly been afforded some opportunity to rest. Even though he's had his struggles here lately, you cannot discount how well Jennings pitched for most of the season, 3/4 of the season, until this latest spell. And he hasn't been just the situational left-hander either. He's been pitching full innings, going across 2 innings, maybe getting the final out of 1 and coming back for a second. I think the idea is that a little bit of rest with the addition of Cedeno, when the Brewers go out and make that trade to pick up another lefty, might get Dan Jennings back again.
He's had a couple of extended periods of time where he's had some rest. I mean, as a general rule, all season long, he's been really good. I mean, a .316 earned run average, nothing wrong with that at all out of the bullpen.
There's a high fly ball by Peraza. Ranging over is Yelich. He's got it for the out. And Jennings with the second out of the inning. Those are the key at bats against the right-handed hitters. And both Cedeno and Jennings have been able to retire those righties.
And most of the time when he gets in trouble, he's hanging sliders. And hanging sliders to left-handed hitters. He's able to keep that pitch down. He really doesn't get hurt too badly on the fastball.
Well, now he's got a matchup with Joey Votto. If Votto reaches, Scooter Gennett. And he starts him with a breaking ball. It's in there for a strike. 2 hits tonight for Votto. His last one came in the 5th inning against Cedeno, the lefty. He just punched one.
That's exactly where you want that slider. Got the benefit of a call and a pitch out of the zone. It's been a little inconsistent down there, as Jeremy Rehack.
And Votto normally doesn't ask if that was a strike. He kind of tells the umpires. I had that as a ball. And I think next time you should too.
And he knows his strike zone pretty well.
He is an amazing hitter. Has been a long time in the big leagues.
Not sure how you take that, but Votto does routinely.
Almost dares that young umpire to call a strike, huh?
Yeah.
Two outs in the inning. Brewers down a pair. Votto, a bouncing ball, ranging over as Perez can't make the play. And the second time tonight, Joey Votto has just steered one around the shift for a hit.
It's all about putting the ball in play, right, with 2 strikes. Took a very close pitch, the pitch before, that fastball down just below the knees. Pretty much the same pitch, and look at the swing Votto puts on that baseball. You talk about shortening up. I mean, that's the poster child of that. Perez not able to come up with it. Even if he did, he wouldn't have been able to throw him out.
Yeah, he was way over on the right. He was on the right side of second base. So that gives Scooter Gennett an at bat. And he's on that first pitch right off his foot.
Scooter Gennett hit a home run off of Jennings earlier this year.
On a slider.
Yeah.
That one bit him a little bit, though. Foul ball right off his foot. And that one hangs, and Gennett gives it a ride to deep right center. And Broxton is there. Yikes. Scooter almost hit one out. Could have been a death punch for the Brewers tonight. Instead, it's a long, loud out to Broxton. And here come the Brewers down a pair. Taking on the division-leading Braves, or it's the Cardinals against the Giants. Regional action starts Saturday at 11:30 a.m. on Fox, Fox Deportes, or the Fox Sports Go app. Here in Milwaukee, Miller Park, it is 3-1, bottom of the 7th inning. And the Brewers have Hernan Perez lead off. Sal Romano back on the mound. Reds pitching has stifled the Brewers tonight. Just 2 hits in the game, both singles. Brewers have just 1 unearned run as Perez pulls 1 foul, and it's 1-1. Checking the scoreboard, the St. Louis Cardinals in Atlanta tonight. And the Cardinals lead the Braves 2-1 in the 7th inning. They go to the bottom of the 7th. Braves are coming up. Here's a 1-1. The Cubs and the Diamondbacks are just underway in Phoenix. I don't know if you saw or heard any of the game last night, but it is usually the case when the Cubs go to Phoenix. But it sounds like a home game for the Cubs in Arizona.
It's kind of the way it is anywhere the Cubs go, actually.
162 home games for the Cubs. There's a called strike 3, and Perez is rung up. Out number 1 for Romano in the 7th. That brings up Jesus Aguilar. Well, sitting on 32 for the year. Take you back to Sunday as the Brewers are trying to come back. He got a down and in fastball at 99 miles an hour and launched his Powerball home run number 32. Brewers are going to have a rematch with those Pirates this weekend, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Aguilar is 0 for 2. Up the middle, that's a base hit. Right off the end of the bat, but Aguilar reaches.
Well, he stayed on it, outer half fastball, and got enough of it. Had some top spin as it scooted through the infield. Well, once again, tying run walking to the plate for Milwaukee. And here comes Jim Riggleman. Fastball on the corner, 95. Aguilar stays on it and shoots it back into center field.
Riggleman will play matchup now. Romano goes 2 and a third. And with the left-hander Mike Moustakas coming up, Riggleman goes to his lefty in the bullpen. Reds lead 3-1. We're in the bottom of the 7th, and the Brewers have a rally in them tonight. Got a pitching change at Miller Park. Far, only 1 run. It was an unearned run, but now they have a man on, and they will bring the tying run to the plate. They'll face Amir Garrett, the big lefty.
Yeah, one of 2 lefties. We saw Peralta in last night's game. Now Garrett gets his shot. 62nd appearance for the big tall left-hander. 442 the earned run average. Once again, more strikeouts than innings pitched, but he has allowed 8 home runs this year. And Brewers could use one.
All right, so Garrett with Aguilar at first base. Moustakas coming up. Jonathan Scope on deck. Brewers need a big hit, need a big moment in this one. Only 3 hits thus far, all of them singles. And Moustakas lays off a first pitch breaking ball.
And Garrett has allowed 5 home runs to lefties this year. There it is, a .256 batting average for Moustakas, 5 home runs. So now you like the combination here. Garrett's given up 5. Moustakas has hit 5.
Missed inside. 2 balls, no strikes. Could be a 1-batter outing for Garrett. There is activity in the Reds bullpen. Moustakas has never faced Amir Garrett. Looking for one mistake that he can drive out of here and tie this thing up. Here's a 2-0. Moustakas on the ground. A chance for 2. Jeanette Peraza throw to first in time. And the inning is over. 3-1 Cincinnati. 7 innings down. We go to the 8th.
One lead, and tonight's time of the game winner, Cherry Bomb Beers and Burgers in Watertown. Are you kidding me? Is that great or what? If they call the Brewers by 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, they get 40 tickets to a 2019 Friday night home game in the Miller Lite Beer Pen. This offer courtesy of the Tavern League in Wisconsin. And Miller Lite Cherry Bomb Beer and Burgers.
Nice alliteration in there. Makes you hungry. Tucker Barnhart will lead off for the Reds, and the first pitch is a strike from Dan Jennings.
I had an extra S in there in the first part of that. Is that what you mean?
No.
I said beers and burgers.
A B. Cherry Bomb Beers and Burgers.
Yeah, I see. Yeah.
Not the S. I don't know where the S came from.
That's perfect.
There's only one thing with an S.
You can't have one beer and burgers.
One ball, one strike. Turning Barnhart around to hit right-handed, and he lines one to left field. And the Reds have a man on to start the inning. Well, it is looking like one of those nights for the Brewers. They still have time remaining, but Brewers are not generating much offense. So these pitchers are out there on a fine line, and Craig Counsell will go back to his pen after a leadoff single. Trying to stay as close as he can. See if the offense can break out tonight. Pitching change for Counsell. Another one. We'll set up the new hurler after this. It's Barnes. Batting change here at Miller Park. It'll be Jacob Barnes trying to keep the Reds at 3 after a leadoff single. Dan Jennings is out and Barnes is in, and he's trying to come back from, wouldn't call it a bad start, but certainly a troubling outing his last time out, huh?
Yeah, had troubles with location. He took a lot of time between pitches. Just seemed a little bit uncertain out on the mound. That was against the Pirates on Saturday. A third of an inning, got by a hit, a run. It was an unearned run, a couple of walks in there. Also struck out a batter. So hoping to get better command of that cutter here tonight.
So a man on for Phillip Ervin, who is 0 for 3 tonight. Barnes does get a lot of ground ball outs when he's right. He could use one here. There's that sweeping breaking ball. Brewers have had 2 starters leave this game, Travis Shaw and Lorenzo Cain. It was announced that Shaw left with a knee contusion on a hit by pitch. No word yet on Lorenzo Cain. What it does present, though, it has Craig Counsell looking at his lineup a little bit differently. You might think about some pinch hitters in the middle of your lineup, 3 and 4, as we go back around in the 8th. There's a strike. That's a good pitch. 2-1. Brewers will have 7, 8, and 9 coming up. Scope and Pena scheduled to hit. But you figure the first opportunity with the Brewers, if they get a man on, or first opportunity with a chance to tie a game with a home run, you'd see Santana. But Jacob Barnes has a lot to do with that strategy the rest of the way. Reds have a lead man on. Barnes facing Ervin now. 3-1 is the count. And a good cut.
Yeah, the fastball has always been effective for Jacob. There have been times when he hasn't gone to it all that often. A little bit more lately. But the cutter's his bread and butter. That's his ground ball pitch. That's what he can use right here.
Got a lefty on deck. Mason Williams. Full count. Well, Ervin fought off 2 fastballs, but has not been able to square them up. He's been late. Barnes does lose trust in his fastball, although everyone around him implores him to use the fastball more.
Upper 90s.
And it's got a little wrinkle on it too. It's just the natural cut to it. Moves away from a right-hander. There goes the runner, and the pitch is skied into right field. Going back on it is Granderson, and he makes the catch, throw to first base, and Barnhart is just back. Close play. Barnhart never saw the ball in the air.
Yeah, pretty good deke out there at second base by Hernan Perez. Almost got him. It was close. He was running on the pitch. Contact was made. Perez made him think that ball was on the ground. So he's looking at Perez. Perez. Actually, that's Scope. Yeah, Scope. Almost dipped him enough to get the double play. Pretty close.
That was close. This last dig right here. And foot song. Man, that is bang, bang. That's as close as it gets.
Yeah, Craig Counsell wants him to take a look at it.
Hey, why not? Take a chance on a call like this.
That was a good job up the middle, though, making Barnhart not sure where the ball was. He kept going.
So the crew chief, Mark Wegner, he is on the left, the calling umpire. It was just that last little moment at the base as Barnhart was going in feet first.
Kind of stuck a little bit before he actually got to the bag. There's where contact is made with the leather. Question is Barnhart's foot on the bag?
Feels like one too close to overturn, but you never know. Right there is contact, and man, comes the result. Call coming down from Chelsea, New York in the review center, and safe is the call. Yeah, you figured. Now, if he was called out and they go to a review, probably not overturned either.
Yeah, bang, bang. Well, I guess why not? I mean, it's worth the risk in the 8th inning.
So 1 out, still a runner at first. And here comes the left-hander Mason Williams. Williams with a double in the 2nd inning. Slapped one to right center. He's 1 out of 3. Has made a fine running catch tonight over the shoulder, Willie Mays style. Took an extra base hit away from Curtis Granderson.
Looked like Billy Hamilton out there at center.
0-2 the count. Inning started with a single by Barnhart off of Dan Jennings. Barnes deals up and away. Brewers have used 5 relievers tonight. Taylor Williams a third of an inning. Cedeno did the heavy lifting. Went an inning and a third. Scoreless. Corbin Burns 2/3 of an inning. Jennings an inning plus. And now Jacob Barnes.
Brewers bullpen has done a really good job keeping the Brewers close, still within striking distance. Got to put up another 0.
Cubs have scored twice in the first in Arizona. They lead 2-0. That's a called strike 3. Barnes with the punch out of Williams. Second out of the inning. First strikeout for Jacob Barnes.
Man, might have got the break of a call right here. But again, pretty close to take. Looked like it might have been off the plate. Williams not happy. Manny Pena holding it nicely, making it look good.
2 outs, runner at first for Brandon Dixon. He is 0 for 2, had a walk and a run scored in the 4th inning. That was the end for Chase Anderson. He issued a 1-out walk to Dixon, then gave up a 2-out double to Schebler. Chase Anderson 3 2/3 tonight. And Brewers are trying to get him off the hook with some offense. It's been slow rolling tonight for the Brewers offensively. Just 3 hits, all singles.
Up after putting up 8 runs last night. That's the way the game goes. It only takes 1 inning. The closer you get to the 9th inning, the closer it is getting to Iglesias time, and he's tough to score on.
Yep. Yeah, the Reds have one of the best closers in the game. There's a foul tip right into the mid of Pena. 1-2 the count now on Dixon. Power against power here. Dixon's got plenty of it. He hit a bomb against the Brewers in Cincinnati in that last series at Great American Ballpark. Barnes trying to get the Brewers to the dugout. Down 2. Here's the pitch. 2-2. Pena wants a fastball. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Ouch. Caught a piece of the home plate umpire as well. Manny says, I'll go to the mound if you need to. I'll take some time for you.
But it's not going to count as a visit.
Two balls, 2 strikes. Barnhart, the runner at first. And a high fly ball center field. Routine for Broxton. And Jacob Barnes holds serve. Strands a leadoff single. Still 3-1 Reds as we go to the Brewer half of the 8th.
Of the 8th inning, Craig Kashan and Tim Dillard out here at Nellie's Corner, getting set for Brewers Live postgame coming up. Our guest co-analysts out here tonight, Tim Dillard. All right, brainstorm here. What's going to happen? It's 3-1. They're down. They need some kind of spark, don't they?
Spark it up. Now's the time. Now's the time. I had a pitching coach years ago, looked us in the eye and said, do something. Now's the time to do something.
Just
you talk about
something.
it. You talk about
right.
it. Now it's time to do something.
All right, Fredert and the Medical College of Wisconsin post-game report on the way. You know, Craig Counsell is in there with Pat Murphy. Kind of think of those same lines right now. We'll hear from Counsell coming up after the ball game and get you set for Game 3 of this series as well, coming up tomorrow night, BA.
All right, thanks, Craig. And Tim Dillard. Good to have Tim along with us. Here's David Hernandez. Double switch for the Reds. Both managers doing something here with personnel. So the Reds bring on Billy Hamilton to play center field. Jim Riggleman wants to leave himself the opportunity to call on Iglesias for a multi-inning save with the double switch. Craig Counsell has Eric Thames and Ryan Braun lined up to hit here in this 8th inning. Scope to start it. 1-1 to count. And that one is low for ball 2.
Reds have a left-hander warming up in the bullpen. Not Iglesias yet. Interesting.
Left-hander Wandy Peralta, who we saw last night. Scope, little jam shot. Schebler is there for the out. And one away.
David Hernandez has had his problems with the home run. Last time out, he got a blown save. A 3-run homer at Wrigley Field to Ian Happ. Hernandez on the mound for that.
Yeah, that was a killer from the Brewers' perspective. That was a 2-0 Reds lead, and Happ hits a 3-run home run late. Cubs would win that game. Cubs took 2 out of 3 from Cincinnati. So here is the Reds killer, Eric Thames. He'll get a shot here. Brewers are down 2, needing base runners.
At-bats have been few and far between for Eric Thames. Hasn't had too many at-bats as of late.
He's put up some gaudy numbers in the last 2 years against the Reds, but he is down 0-2, chasing a couple of high fastballs from Hernandez. Talking to himself. 7 weeks on the disabled list with thumb surgery. Mostly a pinch hitter now. And down he goes. 3 fastballs almost in the same spot, and Thames is out number 2. First strikeout for Hernandez. That'll bring up Ryan Braun. Brewers desperate for a base runner, down to their last 4 outs of this game.
And Brewers have used a number of players tonight. Pratt, Santana, Nottingham still available.
Braun is 6 for 20 as a pinch hitter. Does have a home run. Top of the order next in Granderson. See if Braun can get him to the plate, representing the tying run. Only 3 hits for the Brewers offense tonight. Reds pitching has been on point. And what was called a bullpen by committee day. There's a tapper right back to the mound. And the Brewers go quietly in the bottom of the 8th. 3 up, 3 down inning for Hernandez. To the 9th we go. The Reds are coming up. They lead it 3-1.
Ninth inning here at Miller Park. Brewers down 3-1, and support the Brewers in their hunt for October by coming out to the ballpark. Tomorrow evening the Brewers host the Reds in the final game of the series, and great seats are still available for the game. Book your seats. Go to brewers.com/tickets. Need your support.
And last game of the homestand. Brewers will have just 3 home games remaining after this one. Miller Lite, what's on tap? Gio Gonzalez and Matt Harvey. Harvey's pitched well against the Brewers. Had a good game his last time out against the Cubs as well. Eric Kratz will come in the game to catch. Pena was pinch hit for last inning. And the new pitcher is Jordan Lyles. He'll have the 9th. He'll try to get the Brewers back to the dugout for the home half, down 2.
Yeah, Lyles pitched on Saturday against the Pirates, tossed a scoreless 9th inning. Had a walk, a strikeout. Made 8 starts with the Padres before his trade over to Milwaukee.
Billy Hamilton's first at bat came in on the double switch. Well, if the Brewers are going to come back tonight, they're going to have to do it against The Reds closer, Raisel Iglesias, who is loosening in the Cincinnati bullpen. That is a tough task. Brewers will have the top of their order coming up. Granderson, Yelich, and then Broxton scheduled to hit. You figured Santana could get an at-bat. Hamilton shows bunt, bunts through it, and it's 2-1. Some heavy scoreboard watching at this time of the year. St. Louis Cardinals in Atlanta. That game is 3-1. They're in the top of the 8th there. Cardinals are threatening for more in that one. Cubs with 2 in the first inning in Arizona. Diamondbacks are having a dreadful month of September. Cubs lead 2-0 in the second inning, and they are threatening for more in their half. Big series in Los Angeles continues tonight. The Rockies and the Dodgers are underway. Scoreless in the first. Right now, the Dodgers have a half-game lead over Colorado. Both of those teams are still in the wild card picture as well. That could be a win the division or bust in the NL West this year. There's a called strike 3. Lyles comes all the way back from 2-0, strikes him out for the lead out in the 9th.
Yeah, good pitch on the inside corner. Billy Hamilton skipped out of the way trying to sell it to the home plate umpire. Nothing doing. Right on the edge.
So back to the top of the order, and Schebler. You've seen Schebler swing at that first pitch all night. First pitch single, first pitch of the game actually from Chase Anderson. Had a key double with 2 outs and 2 strikes in the 4th. That extended the Reds lead to 3-1.
0-2 fastball from Chase Anderson. Last batter that Chase faced tonight.
Schebler looks like a completely different hitter with 2 strikes in the way he stands at the plate. So in non-2 strike counts, you can see he's straight up and more of a power position.
Big hack, big finish. Hunches over, chokes up, trying to play pepper with the pitcher. That's the stance that got him his double to score that 3rd run.
It seems unusual you would have such a dramatic change in batting stance in the middle of a count. You'll see it right here.
Tough enough to feel comfortable with 1 stance, let alone 2. Apparently works for him. He's going to look like a completely different hitter now.
Yeah, squats down. Looks like Wade Boggs right now. 2-2. And a called strike 3. Inside corner fastball from Lyles. Boy, he thread the needle with that one, and Schebler is a strikeout victim. Back-to-back Ks for Jordan Lyles. That'll bring up Jose Peraza. Badger Mutual Insurance play of the game happened early in this one. First inning, second batter Anderson faced. Peraza with a 2-run home run. And the Reds have never trailed. 2 hits tonight for the talented shortstop.
Reds got to feel like they should have maybe a 5-run lead. They've left 8 runners stranded on the bases tonight. 9 hits.
Well, they had 2 batters reach base in each of the first 4 innings, scoring 3 runs.
Boy, this is gone. The Brewers have to feel fortunate. They're only down by 2 with a chance in the 9th.
Top of the order coming up. Brewers have just 1 3-up 3-down inning. That was the 6th Lyles a chance to do it here in the ninth, and it's 2-1 on Peraza. Little slice foul. Lyles with back-to-back Ks. The 2-2 pitch in the dirt. Kratz with a block. Full count.
Well, good command on that arm side, outside corner to right-handers right here. Let's see if he goes back to that pitch.
Joey Votto due next. Payoff pitch. Fly ball right field. Granderson on the run. Granderson makes the catch. He had to turn back the other way at the last moment. Peraza retired. 3 up, 3 down for Lyles. Curtis Granderson will lead off. Last call for the Brewers. Down a pair. Bottom of the ninth coming up. A lot on the line here in the ninth inning. The Cardinals have a big lead in Atlanta. The Cubs have opened up a big lead in Arizona. Trying to catch the Cubs, trying to stay ahead of the Cardinals. The Brewers are down 3-1. We go to the bottom of the ninth. Eugenio Suarez will enter the game at third base. A night off from the starting lineup, their top RBI man. And a very dangerous closer here on the mound in Raisel Iglesias. You play the Reds. You do not want to be in this position down in the ninth, but the Brewers are, and they'll have the top of the order to face Iglesias.
He had 27 saves, ranked 6th in the National League. Picked up a save at Wrigley Field against the Cubs last time out.
Brewers need a base runner. Yelich to follow. Granderson takes ball 2. Rally caps are on. Granderson with a walk in his first plate appearance tonight. He's 0 for 2. And there's a strike inside corner.
And he's got the big fastball, mid-90s. Slider, sweeping slider to go with it. Changes arm angles. The
2-1. Granderson takes it low. Ball 3. Saw Iglesias take a quick peek on deck.
Didn't like what he saw, did he?
Sees Christian Yelich hoping to hit with a man on as Granderson draws the walk. And the screws tighten on the Reds closer. One of the best hitters in the game coming up, Christian Yelich. Lead-off walk in the 9th. It's got the Reds manager pacing a little bit.
Granderson's been incredible since he came over here, getting on base.
10 walks as a Brewer for Granderson in 2 weeks.
Pulled the string on it.
Yes, he did.
Change up.
Yelich was up there ready to pounce on that first fastball. Got the change of pace instead. No balls and a strike. One ball, one strike. Yelich has homered off Iglesias in his career. He's 3 for 11 lifetime off this hard-throwing right-hander. One of those 3 hits a long ball. Domingo Santana due to hit next. Here's a 1-1. Yelich, a big swing and a miss, and it's 1-2. Now Iglesias in the driver's seat. Yelich had a single to the opposite field in the 6th. Stole a base as well. Here's a 1-2. Outside. Good take.
Yeah, good take. Didn't miss that corner by much. Working Yelich away. Yelich has got big power to the opposite field.
15 of his 31 home runs have come to center field. And a swing and a miss. He struck him out. Gave him the gas, and Yelich swung right through it for the first out.
And they started him out with a changeup. That got into the head of Christian Yelich, and then nothing but fastballs away. Last one got by him.
And so Craig Counsell will call on Domingo Santana. Well, he has hit home runs in his last 2 pinch hit appearances. If he does it here, not only will it tie the game, it will tie a major league record for consecutive pinch hit appearances with a homer. And a jam shot foul. Domingo Santana. This was on Sunday against Vasquez. Hard throwing closer of the Pirates. Opposite field smash into the Loge level. And then last night, another big fly from Santana. Both of those home runs were no doubters.
And that one last night got the Brewers going. It was 1-0 at the time.
Santana has a memory of a home run against Iglesias. There's a strike right on the edge. Oh, just painting with that fastball.
And he's dropping down a little bit, giving the right-hander a little bit different look. Going across his body.
It's as good as it gets.
Yeah.
At 96 as well. Tying run at the plate, 1 away. A leadoff walk to Granderson. Santana has 2 hits in his career against Iglesias, a double and a homer. He's 2 for 7. Brewers have just 3 hits. And 1 unearned run. Down he goes. Santana strikes out. Back-to-back Ks. And the Brewers are down to their last out.
Yep, got him on a slider. That's a good movement going off the plate.
That is A-level stuff right there from Iglesias. Santana, no chance.
They just need a mistake.
So it is Perez. This is the spot in the batting order originally occupied by Travis Shaw. And a first pitch fastball misses low. If Perez could reach, Jesus Aguilar would hit in this 9th inning. That's the guy the Brewers want to get to the plate on deck. Their leading run producer. 2-0. Pitch, and right off the end of the bat. 2-1.
Off the end of the bat, 96-mile-an-hour fastball. You saw Perez gearing up for that heater. Perez has a homer. He's 2 for 7 against Iglesias.
Needs one mistake. Reds pitchers haven't made many tonight. 2-1 pitch is outside, ball 3.
All right, figure out a way to get the big fella up. Any way on.
Three and 1. Perez fouls it away, was late. 96 with a fastball. Made a big pitch when he needed it. Now I'll be curious to see if he goes with a slider here.
That's normally what he likes to use when he has 2 strikes, but 3 and 2, 2 outs. Got Aguilar on deck.
Brewers are down to their last strike. Odds against him here with this Reds closer on the mound. 3-2 pitch, and down he goes. The ball game is over. The Reds win it, and the Brewers to 86 and 66 for the year, and in danger of dropping another game to the Cubs and having their lead in the wild card race shrink by a game tonight. Iglesias nails down the save. Sal Romano gets the win tonight. Chase Anderson suffers the loss. Time for Brewers Live. Tim Diller joins Craig Kashawn. We send it out to Craig in Nelly's Corner. Brewers Live starts now.
All right, BA, the Reds even up the series here. The Brewer bats very quiet tonight against Cincinnati pitching. We'll talk about that here from Craig Counsell and get you set for tomorrow. See if the Brewers can get back on track. Brewers Live postgame is on the way.